morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is CPS Boxing News in Boxing News Media from city of New York. It's a pleasure to introduce one of the champions from, let's say, Santiago de los Caballeros, República Dominicana, and she's Christina Linardatou Duran, also representing Greek. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. How are you? How's everything?
I'm okay, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. What can I say? It's a pleasure to be speaking with you, two-time WBA female junior welterweight champion, and eventually, what can I say? I mean, great things from you. And I know you're preparing for an upcoming fight, July. If I'm not mistaken, it's soon. It's July 15. You're going against Alycia Baumgardner. But before we going all the way there, I want to ask you this, and I'm hoping that I don't disturb yourself, because I know probably in social medias and things like that they were trying to back and forth fighting, but eventually we want to see this fight that eventually it was supposed to happen, but for some reason, and you here you can answer us, it was supposed to happen against Mikaela. Tell us what was the reason that the fight couldn't go.
No, it wasn't supposed to be against Mikaela Mayer. I had a fight with Mikaela that never happened, so now I had a new fight with Alicia. The fight with Mikaela didn't happen because the boxing commission of England didn't let it go, because I had years ago a surgery, and I have a lens in my eyes. So it's some kind of funny, because I started my career just because of allergies, my boxing career. I started it at the age of 22, and because I finished, when I finished school, I studied chef. I was a chef, in the kitchen.
Sure.
So, yes. So I started I started boxing because I was some kind of depressed. So I needed something to feel better. And I started boxing training because I always like martial arts, and when I was a kid, I used to practice kickboxing for a while. So I wanted something to make me feel better. That caused because of allergies, because I never had any problem, neither in break an arm, something, or neither a tooth. I had never a problem in my life. The only problem that I had about health was allergies, always. And I always had to do therapies with cortisone. I don't know if you understand that.
Of course.
If I am saying that well. Yes, so I had to do therapies. Sometimes pills didn't work, and I had to make injections of cortisone. So cortisone, that's what the doctor told me 10 years ago, is that probably cortisone causes that, And then I started, and I couldn't see very well. When I fought Delphine Persoon, I already had a little bit, But after, immediately, I did the surgery. So now I have lens. When I went to the doctor to make the surgery, he said to me, you can choose, if you want to see close or if you want to see far. And I told him I need to see close. He said, why do you need to see close? Do you read a lot? I said, no, I don't read. It's for my boxing career. So, yes, and I did it. Same things asked me the doctor in England, because in England, I went to a doctor. I heard that they were about they didn't want to let me fight at the end, just 2 days before. I heard about that. So I went to a doctor, a surgeon, how we call that?
Say it again.
So, I went to a doctor, eyes doctor. So he told me that my eyes are very well. He did everything. I spent hours there in England.
Okay.
And he gave me a paper, but they didn't accept that.
That's weird. I
They
mean,
didn't accept.
that's kind of weird. I
It's
mean,
okay. Yes, and 30 minutes before the fight, just 30 minutes, they decided, before, not the fight, 30 minutes before the waiting, they decided that I'm not going to fight. So it's okay. If I had time, maybe I could do something, but 30 minutes before waiting, what you can do?
wow.
So the doctor there give me paper that I can't fight because they see my eyes that are for such a long time. I have been fighting. I fight 2 times. I become 2 times world champion, and I have fought really good boxers. So they say that they don't see the reason why I cannot fight. And I took a paper from there. I have it from England, the doctor, and I took a paper from my doctor here that did the surgery years ago. And my doctor had studied in Boston. And yes, is a very good. I went to the best one here. I couldn't leave my career I couldn't lose my career because it was it was new, boxing for me. I had dreams. So I lived one word, work. Sorry. You're going to fix that.
No, of course. It's good. We understand, we understand. Go ahead.
Yes, I had to stop working in the kitchen. In
the kitchen. No, you're good. No, you're good. No worries. I mean, so
I had to stop working in the kitchen and live my dreams back because I wanted to be like my father and work on ships, traveling. That was my dream, to travel. So I had to stop that, and it was a shock for me at the beginning. But then I found boxing, and I started that I was very happy about that. And suddenly they tell me that I probably won't. So I find the best doctor, and he told me, we're going to do the best. And you see, you're going to fight again. Don't worry. So my eyes are perfect. Perfect. And they give me papers, but I have the they never accept that.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, with all due respect to you, I mean, you said that everything, it was clear in order to fight. The only thing that, probably the commissioner, they were the ones who decided not to fight. So I'm glad that you explained it to the fight fans, to all the boxing, world, that you were ready to fight. And eventually, if you fought before, you became 2-time world champion, WBO, and you had this this thing with the eyes and surgery and everything. I don't see no reason, for making that fight. So, I'm glad that you explained to the fight fans, because I know they were in social media saying, oh, she was maybe scared, she didn't fight. How it is sometimes.
I was crying for one day. I was crying the whole day.
Wow.
Because they didn't let me fight. But then I say no. I cannot do that to myself anymore, I was crying for a lot when it happens first time with my chef career. And then I was crying now because I was afraid that probably it's going to be a problem and I'm not going to fight again. But even if I didn't fight again, it's okay. I'm used to disappoint,
No, don't say. No, don't say that.
I'm used to that, but I'm used to get up and keep going and doing my best. The thing that hurts me more about that was that after giving birth, it was really hard. I have never been through something that hard. And before having the baby, I couldn't understand that. Then when I had the baby and I tried to come back, at the beginning I couldn't breathe. My body pain, it was like I was beginning I was just beginning again. And I was like, and I give all my power and all my will to do that. And then I go to England and I leave the baby for 3 weeks. Just because I wanted to be focused. I say, I need to be focused. I need to win that fight. I need to do this for my baby. I need him to one day to say my mother bring me to life, and immediately she did that big, and I was like, I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna take the win. I was like that, and I went a week, 3 weeks before there, and that was the pain that causes most pain. But now I decided that I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here with my baby because I don't know what can happen. What can happen? Maybe Alicia got the flu. Maybe she pain somewhere, and I cannot do that again to my baby or to me. I can also work from here. It's okay.
Wow. I mean, with all due respect to you, and before all of that, congratulations, you became a young mother. I mean, which is, you said it was for you hard to going through this situation. I mean, it's understandable, sometimes when you give a birth, I mean, females give a birth is not the same, every female, it reacts differently in a lifestyle because it's not used to it. But hey, look at you, in great shape, continue, working hard. And you said that your motivation is your son. I mean, eventually you're gonna do the best in order, like you said it. Later on when your son be more older, start growing, says, "Oh, my mother did this," in order that to bring me a achievement in let's say, people can tell me, "Oh, your mother is a champion." I mean, look at her, fighting against all odds.
I only want him. When I at the beginning I couldn't understand what that really means. But now I understand. It's a different experience that you cannot understand it if you don't live it. And I want to do so many things for this baby. I want him to I want to give him, to be a person that fights out there. I don't want, and this is an example. I'm fighting here, baby boy. So you have to fight. This is life. Go out there and fight, whatever you do. Everywhere you are, you need to fight and get what you want. And if you can't, do something else, but keep fighting.
It's true. I mean, circumstances appears in life, it like daily life, yourself, myself, and anybody else, out there. I mean, of course, you are a motivation, and not only for your son. Let me tell you, now in this world, a lot of females they've been joining, let's say women's boxing. You mentioned in the beginning, you try boxing because you want to feel more, active. You want to feel probably not be depressed and have something in order that motivation and takes away depression, all these problems, issues. Sometimes we go through different issues. Not every people joins boxing because they want to become a boxer. Sometimes you gotta relieve some kind of sadness, depression and things like that. But hey, great example, and I gotta give you an applause because a lot of people, believe me, a lot of people they are afraid to talk about certain things, and you are one of the examples. I mean, congratulations, Christina, because you eventually speaking from your heart to all the fight fans and everyone. And I'm glad that you explained, that the fight couldn't go, because like I said, I was saying in the beginning, in social media, they were saying, about yourself, that you were scared. Let me tell you something, and for every fight fan, let me tell you something, let me tell, every fight fan out there, when they said it that they, people are afraid to fight, is a lie, because once you put a gloves and you step into the ring, those warriors, and when they step into the ring, they give it everything. So there is no a certain thing or such a thing that you're gonna say, oh, she's scared, he's scared. Nah, we gotta respect them, whether loses a fight or not. Those people are warriors. They put gloves, and once they put the gloves, you know that it's gonna be also a fight. So I'm pretty sure that people.
I don't understand that. Why people act like that? When you are a fighter, it's not the fight that makes is all the thing. For us, for me, or for many, or for all fighters, I think the most difficult part is the preparation, the when you are preparing yourself for that. All this that you have to do to come to the fight, get there, and either you win, either you lose. You are fighting all the whole time before you get in the ring.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, even though in sparring, I mean, you could get hurt in sparring. It's not guaranteed that you're gonna come out safety from sparring. I know sparring is sparring, but I seen sometimes people get hurt. They break their wrists or something happen. But eventually, like I always encourage every fight fan, I mean, have always respect for whoever step into the ring, and don't call them, cowards, because once they put, gloves and step into the ring, it to me it tells me everything. So I cannot call someone, oh, you are a coward, you this, you that. No, I mean, to me, it's always, a fight that makes, the audience to enjoy. Two fighters, they bring their everything, as you mentioned. The hardest part, I think, over here is the training session. Is not the fight inside that they perform on that night or on that day. It's the fight that they do, like getting in, early in the morning, going and run. No one sees that. Only your trainer, the people that are close to you, they are the ones that they see everything. So it's I wish that they could be 24/7. Every and someone recording from the beginning to all the way to the end, but it's sometimes impossible. What can I say, Christina? I mean, eventually that fight couldn't go, but I'm glad that you explained, that that fight couldn't go against Mikaela Mayer. For all the fight fans, you already explained, what can I say, the answer. So,
And for those that say that I was afraid, I have no problem to fight here anywhere, anytime, any date they give me. I'm still here. If they want, let's do the fight somewhere else. Like I'm doing now, fighting Alicia, because Detroit doesn't have this rule. But even England doesn't have this rule. They don't say clearly. They say only you have to see. They don't say if you have lens, you cannot fight. It's not clear, And I have been fighting there. They say we didn't know it at the past, because I bring the paper from the eye doctor that says that I can see,
Sure.
So it's okay to fight. But whatever they say, the brain, how we call that? The brain that we do, this examination for the brain, it shows it inside, that I have lens and I have something, implants. So whatever. For those that say that I'm afraid of something, I have no problem to fight her anytime she wants. And
Anytime,
and anywhere.
and I think exactly anytime, anybody, and that's a good thing that you make it clear, Christina. And for this fight that it's coming up, against Alycia Baumgardner, I mean, what can I say? Undisputed, champion right now. Eventually, in the past, you defeated her. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was 2018, when you brought a defeat against Alycia Baumgardner. I know now, probably, and I can tell you that probably she's a better fighter. What can the fighters expect? I mean, of course, you all ladies already met each other, in the beginning, in the first fight. This is gonna be the second time, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be very explosive, very exciting. But tell us, how you feel motivation for this fight.
I feel I can't wait for this fight. I can't wait. It's the prize. She's undisputed champion now. It has been a long time and that we fought, and she's better, of course. She's a better fighter, but so do I. And what makes you a good and a great fighter is not only your training, your fights, and all this stuff. Is what you come through. That's what I was telling about when I was about to fight Mikaela. I was like, guys, I don't care. I feel like I'm going to pass through her because I just feel that all this process that I have been through the last years makes me even stronger. And I was already strong and already with skills. And I have been working my ass out, how some people say, I believe that as a fighter, I have everything. Because people see me only fighting and going in front and a warrior and fighting and this kind of fighter, it's just because I always go to others' promotion. I always go and I always need to to do my best to get that win. You know, I cannot stay and go doing other things. I just need to use my skills of like Mexican style boxing. You know, it's the first style that my trainer teach me. But I know I can fight. I'm used to fight with heavier, with Philly cell, with strong, with fast. That's why I won Alicia that time. Alicia had a style, a difficult style, and she's strong. She can wait and counterpunch you. So that's why I won her, because I know how to fight a style of fighter. And if you see me doing the same on running away and going for points or things like that, I'm not gonna win. But I can do that, and she cannot. She only have this style. She can only stay like this. I can stay like this, and I can also fight inside and go in front. You understand? That's the difference between us. She's skillful, she's good, but in one thing. But this one thing, I'm also used to fight with this kind of fighters. I'm also good. I'm learned to go in front and get the win, because I don't have the privilege to do something else.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, I know it's gonna be very explosive fight and very intriguing. You know what's gonna happen, because since that time in 2018, you know, with all due respect to Alicia, I know she became a better boxer, and of course yourself as well. You know, I mean, you're training for the best, because eventually every time that you fight somebody is a different type of level of boxing, and of course you're preparing for that. You mentioning you're trying to fight, you know.
I'm happy she's better. I'm happy she's better. I'm happy she's better, because I want to make good fights, you know. And as better as the other, my opponent is, as happy I am, and as I'm waiting more for that, you know, because if it were a bomb or someone that is not good at all, okay, I wouldn't be, but I want to fight, you know, strong. And if you see I have fought with many good fighters, not just one or two. I have fight with good fighters.
That's
And
amazing.
even though
Mhm.
even Alicia, I beat Alicia once. Now Alicia is undisputed champion. I get my first world champion versus Candy White, and I knocked her out. Now Candy White won, I think, international or something, WBC or WBA, I don't remember. Now she did that. They deserve that. They are good, okay. But we have to fight each other, and that happens, you know. I have also two loses, so it's that's a game. But let's go for that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I know it's gonna be very, you know, intriguing what's gonna happen on this fight. I wish nothing but the best for you and for also for Alicia, because I know both of you they're gonna bring, you know, their best, everything, every skills, everything that you already ladies had, you know, training at the gym, and of course, you know, you mentioning everything that is doesn't seem, you know, behind the scenes. You all gonna bring, you know, everything in this fight, and I know it's gonna be very interesting, because I mean that's in Detroit, is the U.S. In some kind of way, do you feel a little bit, you know, like underdog, like she's the favorite one? Does it bother you this, or you be like, I can handle that?
Except of the fights that I have done in Greece, eventually, that I have fought, I think, 2 or 3 times here. All the other times I have felt like that. But I don't care about that, you know? That's a game. So, feeling like the underdog, I'm going for all. Always going in front for all. Well, if especially if I'm an underdog. Not feels like that. That's a fact. You know that. That's a fact.
So that feels you more motivated, in order that, you know, you will come there, and then you said, hey, let me prove you that, you know, even though I'm coming to the US, I'm bringing everything against my opponent. So is that the case?
No matter what fight, no matter if I'm underdog or no matter where it is, I always feel like I'm going to a war when I go to a fight, because I'm doing what I do. Anything in my life that I have done, I want to do it right, and the right is to go and win and get that win. So to get that win, no matter what the circumstances are, you have to go and get the win and do what you have to do. If you don't, if it doesn't come, okay, we move on, but I have to do what is necessary to win that fight.
Awesome. I mean, hey, I'm pretty sure you don't want to leave it to the judges. You want to do everything in what you can in order to win the fight. And I'm pretty sure, Alicia will do the same. So that's the part that, it makes very interesting this fight. And I encourage every fight fan, to support women's boxing, yourself, Alicia, and women's boxing. And talking about women's boxing, Christina, what do you think about women's boxing now that, has changed a lot? What are your thoughts on women's boxing now?
Women's boxing is better than ever, I think. On its prime, many women, more and more, are involved with boxing and martial arts and all this stuff. But things are better. Things are in women boxing are getting better. Katie Taylor, Clarissa Shields, some other fighters, they help boxing to
Grow?
grow, So what we need is like that: good fighters, good fights. So people start loving it. But because if they see bad, ugly things, or they don't think something beautiful, then they're not gonna support. Things are better, but I still think it have work. It needs work still, because many things are not how they should be. So sometimes maybe you don't have the motivation to do something. If you are not getting paid right, if you are not, if you are getting disappointing things happen, and all this stuff, then you maybe, don't look at me. Some people get disappointed. They just give up. It's okay, but this is the part of life. But just because of that, because it's growing right now, women boxing, things should be a little bit better. Things should be a little bit better. Like I think women deserves to have maybe more time, like 3 minutes. It's not enough 2 minutes. What is they're not gonna do in 2 minutes? One. Second, they should get paid a little bit more, not to fighting big fights and get not enough. I don't want to say things, but exactly per se or this stuff, but they should be different. Because this make women go away. And what is gonna be? The game is gonna be just 1, 2 fighters fighting with bombs that they want to look for and put them to fight and make them. No, if people are not seeing something good, then they won't like it and follow it. And now it's the time to make women boxing even bigger, because it's really I think is the best time maybe of ever.
It's good to hear that from you, and I agree with you. I think women's boxing is growing and getting better. I mean, eventually, you and Alicia, they're gonna be the example. What it is, women's boxing, and of course, I'm pretty sure they, there will people motivated, all females, that probably they don't know, the world of boxing. They're gonna be like, I wanna be like Alicia. I wanna be like Christina. I mean, she told us, that she tried boxing because she was going through so difficult times, and she's an example for me. So when you hear this, Christina, how makes you to feel, in life that, you be a role model for a lot of females, including in Greek and Dominican Republic, even in the US and worldwide, I can say that, because I'm pretty sure you are a role model for a lot of women's, behind.
Yes, and eventually, and not eventually, and yes, I have some even that talk and send messages and all this stuff, and that's really make me feel. It's making me feel good and like I have a compromiso. How we call that in English? Compromiso
Compromise, yes.
con esas personas. Yes, like I have. How you said that?
You being compromised to show, that you are an example for every female fighter that is behind yourself, that they want to learn, I'm pretty sure, the skills of what and being there as a teacher, I'm pretty sure you feel great. That's
It's not only about, like you say, women worldwide or from the Dominican Republic or something. For me, it's enough here in Greece that we have a boxing gym, and I have so many girls and even boys, not only girls, that they see, they talk to me, they come, they say, like they admire me or what I'm doing. And I think that we all people need to have examples. Examples, we live in really hard times, and it's so difficult to do in your life to make something, to read something, Not it's difficult. I don't know why nowadays things are more difficult. It's more difficult to raise money, not like before. It's more difficult to become in your job a master or something. Like, okay, you can delete that. Let me think about how I can say that. Anyway, everything in life now is difficult. So I think that people need examples. And here in Greece, I don't need. I see people, and it motivates me because I see the young kids that they tell me, I admire you, I want to be like you, and things like that. So I feel compromiso.
No, it's good. It's good. Hey, you feel in order to be compromised with people, bring the best example of you and leave a mark in history. Not only in women's boxing, but I think in your personal life that, like you mentioned, people at the in your gym, even guys. I mean the kids. They come and they tell you, what, I wanna be like you, and I'm pretty sure there are people that come in and they say thank you, Christina, because you taught me how to punch, something, you taught me how to fight. Maybe I wasn't able to fight, but you showed me how to fight. So I think boxing, as you mentioned, it's for everyone, not only for females but eventually for men's as well.
Don't train. I don't train at the gym. I do it sometimes, but when I do it, and even if when I don't do it, I see people that they need to have an example. They need to have someone that they can see that they can do and reach their dreams.
I agree with you, and
It's like they say, like, look, this person do it, so can I. Things like that.
and I know that you are one of the greatest example out there, and also a role model that living a mark for women's history, for your personal life, and of course making the best in order that people can see you, and maybe one day that you get retired, probably that's gonna be the time that you're gonna be teaching boxing full time, because eventually you're gonna say, this is the time that I gotta leave boxing. My better days, they're already gone, and I did the best of me. I showed the best to the world, to the boxing fans, who I was and who I am, and I know that you're gonna be great, and I know that you're gonna be good and great in order that when you become a coach, a teacher for teaching boxing and everything. Christina, I know
I
there's
don't want that. I don't want to be a trainer. I don't know why.
Yeah, you never know.
I think it's a very big responsibility because trainer is not just to train somebody or being an example, like watching what I'm doing and like that. It's okay. But training people, I think is a very big responsibility. You know, you have to take care of everything on your fighter, even psychology, even why act you have to say why he act like that, why not, you know, you have to see to work in a lot of aspects and a lot of things. So this is not something that I have the energy to train people, just to train them, to teach boxing, maybe I could. But to be a boxing coach and be on a person and looking all this person needs is something difficult.
Wow, that's
So I'm thinking of the tutorial that I'm gonna do in the future very soon.
no, thank you for
if
saying
if
this, because I know probably, if you choose maybe one day become a coach that you already mentioned, it takes a lot of sacrifice. It's a big responsibility, to do that. You might gonna think, maybe two times, three times in order that if you wanna choose for that. But teaching, boxing, anybody can is welcome, and I'm hoping one day, be there, that you could teach me a couple of moves and maybe throw the best on me, and I'll be, glad to receive that and to learn from you of why not. Christina, I know we're gonna wrap it up this interview before, and I want to say thank you. And I know we've been talking a little bit, and I'm glad that you explained already, Mikaela's mayor, why didn't go, and Alycia Baumgardner, upcoming fight, your thoughts. And I'm glad that, you mentioned this fight is going. I don't want to hear, oh, because the eye doctor, things like that. You already said it. Everything is clear, is ready to go, and I'm hoping, this fight happens for the best, and wishing, you and Alycia Baumgardner bring the best, and for all the fight fans and audience. But before we wrap it up with this interview, I want to ask you this, Christina: who would you like to dedicate this fight?
to my son,
Amazing.
I already told you. I want to win that fight for my son, and I wish I could take him with me. But what happened is that I'm trying to do my best, and not just because I think or I believe. I ask a lot of things because it's my first time, and I had never been really close. Some friends that have babies or something, after the babies they disappear, and I say, why that? Now I understand. When you have a baby and you give it all to your baby, then you don't have too much time free. So I wanted to take the baby with me and have him up there. But it's different when you are a dad and the mother have the baby and you take the baby up, and it's different. But when you are a mom, it's very, very difficult. I asked a psychologist what I should do and how I can handle that, and can I do that? Before, at the fight with Mikaela, I asked that. And he told me that it's some kind of risk, because when the baby goes to a new environment, needs to have his mommy all the time, especially if he won't be at his environment and he won't have people that loves him around. So he will be like will be stressful, will want mom all the time and all these things. So that's why I decided that I don't need to do my part and have him with me, because I want to have him on there and have pictures and show my baby. No, I don't want that. I don't want the best for my baby. And the psychologist told me the best thing is, you don't know what can happen, but the best thing is leave him at his environment with people that loves him. So what I'm gonna do is go there, take that win, take those belts, and bring them back to my baby.
Wow, that's a big accomplishment. That's a big accomplishment, a big gift for you, baby, for yourself. And I wish you nothing but the best, Christina. And for every fight fan, I encourage to support yourself and also Alicia and the whole movement of women's boxing, because I'm pretty sure both of you bring in, their best in this fight, and we cannot miss this fight. So I want to say thank you, Christina, and nothing. I don't say goodbye because I'm pretty sure in another time I'm gonna contact to you if you got willing. Your time, it's available for me. I'm pretty sure we could make another interview. So for now, I want to say thank you. Wish you nothing but the best. God bless you.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. No te vayas.